So when you say the strength stuff, I imagine you're saying higher intensity higher intensity resistance training with lower rep ranges. Um, so I guess a lot of people probably listening would think to do some marathon running, you would want to prioritize muscular endurance training in the lower limbs. So like the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings at higher rep ranges. They would think that's more probably specific to the nature of endurance running. Why do you do, I guess, lower rep range, higher intensity strength training as opposed to endurance resistance training, or is it a combination, kind of a hybrid between the two? And how do you program that?
I sort of see it as if you look at running is essentially high repetition, high intensity, aerobic, anaerobic, that sort of stuff. So I think it's important to complement it with the opposite, and to make sure you're not you know just adding more stress and more high intensity onto your running program. And I'm like, by no means a professional in this, and my mate who is a physio who, was going to the gym with, he sort of helped me with this stuff. And it's all very basic. And like you said, it is all lower limbs and core based stuff. It's very basic movements. It's squatting, it's deadlifting, a lot of single leg stuff, obviously, because of the force that running puts through each single leg. And it's sort of 3 reps of 8. And getting pretty heavy. And I think I don't exactly know the science behind it all, but I think that how it is, I guess, the opposite of what running is, in terms of the energy systems and all that sort of stuff, makes sense in my head at least.
Yeah. So from a specificity standpoint, sled pushing, Bulgarian split squats, what are your go-to resistance exercises for, transfer from the gym into your running performance?
Usually, yeah, like I said, it's super simple. It's like squatting, Romanian deadlifts, split squats, single leg deadlifts,
Yep.
and then like glute bridges and stuff like that. So it's all focusing around those sort of prime movers. And you might throw in an upper body something there, so you're just not wasting away too much.
And you use a lot of supersets. Like, what are the rest periods between sets? Do you tend to do shorter rest periods, or is it, your typical strength protocol where you're resting anywhere between 3 to 6 minutes per set?
I think I get myself in trouble sometimes because I do superset a lot of the time and cut recovery, but that purely comes from a time restraint point of view. I don't enjoy spending hours in the gym, so it's I'm very much trying to get in and out, which is contrary to what I was saying earlier about it not becoming a high intensity exercise. But that, I think that just lends itself to doing it on your spare time and that sort of stuff, and just trying to fit it up at night.
If you had to choose only one marathon you could run for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
One that I've already run.
Just any. You could pick any across the world. They say one that you've done, that's fine. But if you could only pick one for the rest of your life, I was actually thinking about this in the context of a question we had on our other podcast, Strength Connect, with Brandon Kempter and Luke Tulloch. But we asked them if you could pick 10 exercises to build a program around, and that was all you could use for the rest of your life. What 10 exercises would you pick to develop a well-rounded program? But I thought, to gear this more towards marathon running, if you had to pick one course across the world that you could do for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why?
I haven't run it yet, but I think it would be, at the moment, would be Berlin Marathon. I think it's so steeped in history, and it's renowned as one of the fastest in the world, and there's been so many world records broken there. I think it's definitely high on my to-do list, and I think it would be, it'd be pretty incredible to do.
Awesome. Where can our listeners find you on social media, Patrick, and also Up There Athletics, if you want to just promote their pages for our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. So Up There Athletics, we've got a online store, is upthereathletics.com, and at Up There Athletics on Instagram. And the store is located in the CBD, so 179 Flinders Lane in Melbourne. And then, personally, it's Patrick Up There on Instagram.
So before I let you go, Pat, just got a segment where I'll get you to add one of your favorite songs. Maybe it's something you're listening to at the moment, to the NORMLESS playlist. People can download this on Spotify and listen to it. It's basically a culmination of all of our guests, one song from each of our guests.
Yeah.
So what have you been listening to, mate? Or what's something that yeah. Imagine music could be a big one for you as a marathon runner.
Funny enough, it's not actually, a lot of people don't have a go at me when I say this, but I don't actually listen to anything when I train at all, which people find a little bit strange. But unless I'm on the treadmill, I do find the treadmill pretty boring.